When it comes to backsliding, me, I call that living.
And when I went in that day, I'll be honest with you, my whole life changed that day. It was like a new beginning. Because what she told me was, hey,
This is the end. This is the one that, athlete or not, in shape or not, your faith or not, this we say, this could be it.
That's it. So a lot of people don't survive that. First thing I thought was just negative.
My mother had been shot. And that's my mother didn't see 2020 coming. She was excited about turning 80.
Right. It's your boy, HTB Jr. Today on Wipe Your Eyes, Change Your Grip, I've got a very special segment that I want to deal with. What is your measure of faith? When your faith is tested, how big is your measure? Come on today, let's go. In life, we are tested on every side. Our health, our jobs, our families, our money, it doesn't matter. So many things go on every day. But now, this is what I've heard. This is what I've learned. This is what I live. That I've been given a measure of faith. And when that faith is tested, what is my measure? What would it take to overcome? We have here, though, with us today, his lovely wife, Miss Sonia Morrison. Sonia, how you doing? Listen, she has a story to tell. It's one that only she can.
I lost my mother. Now it's been 3 years and some change on Halloween night of 2019. Um, I just come from Dallas. For some reason, I say for some reason, at this point I know that it was ordered by God. I was in Dallas for a week and went down there with the thought of my sister, with taking care of some business with my sister. My oldest sister has some issues. And so my mother is her caretaker. My sister's older than I am. So I just got the notion to go down there and get my name on some of that paperwork. So just in case, somebody else would have an opportunity if I have to talk to a doctor or something like that. And never thinking that my mother would be out of the picture, but just have another. Absolutely, absolutely. So went down there, did that. Had a great week with my mother. We had all kind of conversations and laughed and got some things straight about some things that, mothers and daughters, you have your issues and iron those things out and had a great week. The day I was going to leave Halloween, Rodney had just gone for his yearly trip with the boys to Florida for the Georgia-Florida game. So he was already gone. So I was coming home to an empty house. And my mother and my flight was out at like 3 o'clock. And about 1 o'clock, I was leaving her house. And we hugged and laughed on the porch. And my mother asked me a few questions, one of which was she just asked me out the blue, you think I should increase my life insurance? And I just kind of laughed. I was like, honey, ain't nobody trying to get rich off of you. You don't have to, and we laughed. And I went on by my way. We cried and boo-hooed, and I hadn't done that in a long time because I go to Dallas often. But we hugged each other, and I went about my way, and she followed me down the driveway, and I drove off. Came to Dallas, got here, thought about whether or not I was going to have some candy for the little kids in the neighborhood and stopped and got some. I let Rodney know I was in town and just touched down. Got home about 9 o'clock, called my mother, and I told her that I was getting ready to get in the shower, but I felt uneasy. And I'm not a scary person. I'm not a fearful person. But something made me feel uneasy. She was like, well, put on your alarm. She said, you not scary? She's like, put on that alarm, get in that shower, child, quit. You believe in God. You're not scared of anything. And so I did and got out the shower and laid across the bed and got a phone call from my brother. And he told me that mama was gone. And I was like, she's gone? Yeah, she's gone. And so my mother had been shot. Some kids came through the neighborhood shooting up. And my mother was on the couch and got shot. My sister was there and she passed. they had an opportunity to call my brother. My brother saw her right before she went into the ambulance, and she didn't make it by the time she got to the hospital. So they called me, and I was hysterical, of course. And I called Rodney, and his family and friends are awesome. Nobody felt like staying for the game. My baby got in the car, and they drove him home. And then I flew out that next day, and my friends and family, my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law came and, got me through that night, and I flew home. And that's my mother didn't see 2020 coming. She was excited about turning 80.
Right.
And just so my faith was tested.
That's right.
To say the least. It was.
I want to say something, because I do know you all, and this was because it's not been that long. None of this. This like it's not like we're sitting here talking and you were this is some 20-year-old thing. These things are fresh now, but where your faith is at right now is so powerful. No. I wish that people out there could be right here and understand like what's really taking place, because it's almost if you two, now please don't get mad at me. It's like that y'all have to go to a place to even, not that you won't cry, but that you've made up your mind about crying.
Yes.
Like when I want to cry about it, I go cry.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when I want to feel sad, I go feel sad. But on a day-to-day basis, I just walk in faith.
I have to.
Right. And you can tell it. I mean, when I tell you, I say, it's amazing. I'm sitting here watching y'all like, you have to take yourself there. Because if not, it's not that you're over it, but it's like, I can't explain how your faith is. Like, I can tell that everything you've got going now is in God. You can really sense that. You know what I'm saying? Because and that's what I want people to see, the rawness of it, that her mother was murdered. And I'm talking about a God-fearing woman, because this was like almost a drive-by, kids playing around, and then now she's gone. And that has happened to some of you out there. Things have happened. But this woman sits here now telling this story. And I know you say, well, I'm not her. Yeah, you're not her, but you do have a measure of faith. You do have a measure. And if they can move, you can move. If they can get up, you can get up. And I hope that her story, we're not done, but I hope that her story is going to help you get up and move. I didn't say move on, but you just need to move. Some things you have to live with. I know we want God to move it all. Just get rid of it. Something God doesn't move. You just have to rename it. All right. But I'm going to say this. Faith is built through resistance. For everybody that's running from challenges, running from situations, running from life, your faith, your measure, what you're going to need to overcome every obstacle, it is strengthened and built through resistance. So we can't be afraid of what challenges us. We can't be afraid of what's threatening us. We've got to know it's only coming to build us up, to allow us to be stronger, better, even walk in power like these two. We want to celebrate today the Morrisons, for them coming down from the ATL to have a good time here on Wipe Your Eyes, Change Your Grip. Listen, I'm your boy ATB Jr. We're out until next time. I love you. Keep your faith going and growing. Stay tuned.